Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I can create an entire video, which was the last video I uploaded, in a night. Great, just whack it on the computer, upload. Live the goddamn dream. I woke up this morning, finished off a tiny little bit of overtime, fixed a bug, and then I was working, what was I working on? I was finishing off the GraphQL query. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, trying to get some mappers done and whatnot, and I'm like annoyingly on my computer, on my laptop, and I want to get back onto the Atlas, but I can't because I need to run it in order to see it work, because I can't get Service Fabric running on my desktop. It's a bit of a pain in the booty. Work was alright today, it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. I was expecting like one really long meeting at the end, and it was like turned out to be half an hour. Wham bam, thank you man, live the dream. We did have a couple of infrastructure based issues that suddenly cropped up out of nowhere, which were jolly good fun and interesting to find, and I've been smashing my head against this security based thing that I'm trying to do. I'm not getting anywhere quick, it's doing my nutting. But one last thing I think I can try, and I'm like, I'm so on my wit's end with that crap. But the thing that I did over the weekend is good, it's in dev at the moment now, it would have been in earlier if we didn't have problems with the deployments. Good stuff. We did our shopping, because it's Monday. We're living the dream basically. So, yeah. Sleep very well last night. I woke up about halfway through my big sleep, so about an hour and a half in. Hour and 45 minutes in, with a nosebleed, which then lasted for 20 minutes or so. Obviously I couldn't go to sleep until that had gone. I'm going to try and get a doctor's appointment for tomorrow, and see if I can talk to someone about it, because it's worrying me now. It's like a couple of times it's just happened, well no, quite regularly it just happens at work or whatever. But that's twice now that I've woken up with one. Once, I was waking up as I was waking up anyway, and once just in the middle of the night woke up with one. I mean, maybe I picked my nose in my sleep, I don't know, but don't know. Otherwise, last night I finished off my GraphQL stuff, and I realised that actually what I've done is kind of wrong, because I've basically built two queries. It's not wrong, but I've built two queries to get data, and really I want to build, it should be within the same graph. It's going back to my REST days rather than graph days. You put it all in the same graph so you can query the graph rather than do two different requests. I was looking to do two requests in one request and chain them, but it's all done simultaneously. It's not sequential. I was looking at changing where I do the resolving, but it's really weird because you have to duplicate your resolving on all of the child classes. You can put it on the base class, it just gets ignored because it's not that class. So it uses the other class, but that class doesn't have it because it's on the base class, so therefore it doesn't do it. And I'm like, there's gotta be a fucking way. I feel like I must be missing something, but I might put something on Stack Overflow or something. Took my foot off the gas a little bit this evening, at the very least. In general, I just really didn't feel very well. I didn't feel proper this morning. And after a day of kind of smashing my head against the same stuff, a couple of meetings that didn't actually take as long as I expected again, which is good. But they were productive meetings. I was able to rally the troops of my team and just kind of whip them all into shape, get everyone facing in the right direction so we can just run, and try and instill a level of teamwork which I feel like we've lost. Yeah, I just when I went to work, I kind of felt a bit spaced out, a bit almost like I was drunk. Just I wasn't moving my hands and stuff, which was weird, especially when I was driving. So anyway, got to work, it kind of faded away. I got home, obviously napped during the day and whatnot, got home and I was just in a bit of a slump. So I just took my foot off the gas, played some Xbox, watched some TV, watching The Circle on Channel 4. It's really fucking interesting. I used to really like things like Big Brother, because I find it fascinating watching how people do stuff, and it's really, I thought it was really interesting. So hopefully it's all right. But it's an hour. It's on every day, and it's on for an hour. Who the fuck has an hour to dedicate to shit like that? I don't. So I'm not sure about that part of it, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we've been having an argument, ladies. Not an argument, a discussion. As you may know, we are looking at some point, relatively soon, buying a new TV. And so, here's our TV at the moment. It's too small. I think it's 32 inch. So anyway, I was trying to talk Laura into getting one like this. Because that is the size, including the stand, of a 55-inch TV. And Laura thinks that's too big. And don't get me wrong, I think it's big. But I think with a TV like that, you can get... Obviously, we're going to need a wider thing, whatever that's called, it's TV stand. We'll get a wider and flatter one, so it's a bit lower down. We'll whack that on there. See now, actually. So anyway, we did this. And then Laura basically talked me down into going to... Well, she's like, I'll be happy with 50, but not 55. And then I talked myself down to like 43 inches. And I've just put that back up there, and I'm like, you could do 55 again though, man. Settle that for me, boys. If you were to come around this corner here, look, and that was the TV, would that be too big? Bearing in mind, obviously you're on a camera, so it's harder to see perspective. That's if you sat down there. If you sat down here, obviously it's a bit... See, I think Laura's just being a bit of a fucking old grandma, being like, oh, it's that, being in cinema. But yeah, somehow I let her talk me down to like 42 inches, which is like nowhere near this big. And what I don't want to do... Now, okay, so if I buy a 43-inch TV, I could spend the same amount of money as I would for a 55-inch one and get like a significantly better one. Or I could get a 55 one, and it's like effectively I'll get the most expensive 43-inch one. Or like, well, the best reviewed one that's not ludicrously expensive and not ludicrously cheap. Or I'm getting basically the cheaper end of the 55 inches. That's the discussion we're having at the moment. Can you help us pick? From home today, mainly because I had to go to the doctor's. I got myself a little appointment. There's a bit... That's annoying. I don't know where that came from. So I went to the doctor's to get my nose checked out. They said they couldn't figure out like why it was happening. Apparently the reason why it normally happens is like a blood vessel you can get, which some people have like a really prominent one. I don't have that, so good news there, I guess. But yeah, so effectively they don't really know why it's happening. They've given me like some cream, some like ointment thing to shove up there, which is like put it on your thumb and you go, just put it there and then you go effectively. They said like if it carries on for like the next like month or two, then they can get me a hospital appointment. Or if I get one that's like lasts more than 10 minutes, they can get me a hospital, just go straight to the hospital basically. So there's that. So you never know. Still might have a brain tumour. It's highly likely unlikely. I mean, it's one of them things where like, I don't go to the doctors very often, but I will consider myself to be quite a bad hypochondriac. So I don't really know, I don't like going, because I often think I am over-egging it, but I think it's just, if you'd have asked me 3 months ago when my last nosebleed was, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. It'd have been like a decade ago. And then the last 3 months I get one more or less once a week on the rec, you know. Anyway, that's done. That's all sorted. I'm back from that. I've been working as well on some work stuff. I'm currently doing a bug with something because it's blocked a user story, and I'm going to do that, and it's more interesting than the other thing I'm doing. It's quite an interesting data problem, which I'm currently writing the unit test for, and I'm just going to write a shitload of unit tests and then just fucking make it work effectively. We effectively have it's like a wizard. If you imagine like a wizard on a website where it kind of like goes through multiple steps, or like a survey maybe, where you go down a survey and there's like different sections. Now based on whatever it is you're doing, there'll be different number of sections, and the number of sections is fixed. So if you're doing like a survey about football, you'll have 5 of them. If you're doing a survey about swimming, you might have 6 and 1 extra one, or 7, and then you've got 2 of them taken away and 2 other ones, and then or 4, and then you've got 1 missing, all that kind of stuff. There's only like 6 different variants, and I need to figure out how to figure out what part of the questionnaire you're on before you open the page. So like from the data model, it's quite an interesting like little problem, little predicament to get through, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. You know, Dream Boys, living the dream. So that's what I'm currently playing with, because yeah, it's blocking. Basically we've put in this little thing that makes the last step work, but then because of that, and because of this different varying number of steps in the process, you now can't get to the last step on one of the pages because it just constantly thinks that you are currently on the last step, even though there's one after it. To be honest with you, I'm very surprised I wrote this logic ages ago when we only had one type, and the simplest type. I'm really surprised it's even remotely managed to hold its own. I've just got to jazz it up now. Oh my lord, I've gone through like 4 or 5 different implementations of this shit, and I've literally just gone back to having a different method for each one, for each different type, because my god. Whoopsie, dropping shit. Yeah, I tried a combination of storing like the number of steps into like some kind of configuration, so some kind of list, and then iterating through the list and figuring out what you've got next and what you had previously and whether that matters whether you're on this step or the previous step. But each step is like so different. Like some of them have to have something set to be like valid, which is cool. They're alright, they're the ones I like. One of them you don't have to have anything to be valid. One of them, if you have one thing, the next step, if it's there, you can skip. Oh god, it's an absolute pain in the ass, man. And there is no good way. I've got a unit test set up, so all I need to do is get it right, and it will all pass. But yeah, it's not a fun party at all. Otherwise, I've been doing some wheel greasing for the team. I've like spotted that we had a certain type of work, this certain type of like thing we're trying to deliver, kept getting bounced in and out of the deployment queue. So we have this queue to go to deployment, and then we have this weird exploratory environment which anything can go to at any time. And it was either constantly in exploratory or in dev, and then it just constantly get bounced out. And the idea is that with dev, you like put it in and then it just gets merged through. It's like as quickly as possible as soon as it's in dev, unless there's like a show-stopping issue with it, punt it through, and then do the rest of the testing in the next environment, because then the code can be merged quicker, the testers have longer to look at it because there's no one like, hey, can I merge my code? All that kind of shit. So I just had to be like, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but what are we doing here, guys? I think really long term we want to change the model we're doing to like literally don't even test in that first dev environment at all. Now we've got 3 environments instead of 2. We can let the second environment become a lot more like unstable, which should in theory, well, I haven't said that, by the time we ever get around to doing that, maybe we won't need to be quicker anymore, and we could have a higher quality output. Not that we just chuck out shit, but we do need to prioritise speed right now. The other day I ordered something from your boys, John Lewis, and I was like, oh, I'll sign up for because I get things from John Lewis semi-regularly, one of their like nectar card style things. I think it's called the My John Lewis card. So I've got one of them now. And this is weird as hell. So I ordered something, and it turned out I already had an account. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Go through the process, check everything's all right. Like, yeah, those details are all up to date. The details it had for my like delivery address was my old flat, because I've probably had something delivered there before. Don't know what. It was probably the TV. Was it the old flat? It was the flat before my old flat. Because that's where I was technically when I bought the TV. So I think that was when I created it, when I bought our current TV now. So I was like, okay, right, update that to this address. Cool, right, order it. You just type in your code online, happy days. I'm like, alright, I don't really need a card, I've got as long as one. I think I just give my email address at the till, to be honest. But anyway, that's cool. A couple of weeks later, Dad rings me and he's like, have you got some post sent to me? I'm like, no. Yeah, because I've just got a John Lewis thing addressed to you. I'm like, what do you mean? And what they've done is they've sent me the John Lewis card to Dad, right? To put this into perspective, that was about fucking 5 years ago I last lived in that house. And by lived in that house, I never officially lived there. I just stayed there over summer. Like I never had. I think the only thing that went there was my student finance and student loan stuff. Yeah, student finance, same shit. That's the only thing that went there because that was the only place that was like static. It was well, obviously I was moving around. As a student, I moved around every year. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, so somehow, even though I literally had my address set up properly on the website, they sent it to that address instead, which is madness, to be honest. My God, I don't even think this is going to fucking do it. This is so complicated. Fuck me. It's really weird because like you start off with a step that doesn't need to be done. You don't have to do that step. Next step is either something that has to be done or is a thing that has two things on it. And if there's only one area where that two things thing doesn't come in. Now if you haven't done any of them, then it depends on the state of the step before. If you've done one of them, you're on the next step. If you've done the other one of them, you're on the step after. Only if the next step is a certain step. Oh, fuck me. Dead dog. Right, it's the tail end of the day. I've been working on and off on this thing and then on some other stuff as well because it's been driving me up the bloody wall. I'm currently writing tests. I've got the tests running now and they're better than they were. I got into the scenario where I was making the code dirtier because I wanted the test to be clean, which is never the way you're supposed to do it. And that has just chipped off a load of test failures. The annoying thing is there's one test. It runs one test with like 900 pieces of data in it. So, sorry, 900 lines worth of data in it. So it's got a shitload of things that are passed. You've got to scroll past all of them to get the error messages at the top. What am I having a problem with at the moment? Expected. Okay. The way this problem turned out to be a significant pain in the ass compared to what I was expecting it to. Like, properly significant. It's really annoying. But hopefully I'm now like pretty close. I think I've got a problem with just one bit of logic and in theory that should just like fall out for the rest. Thankfully the rules kind of like cross-apply, but I created 900 lines worth of test data. There's now two tests. One where you just pass in null, and one where you pass in a shitload of test data. And it's the annoying thing is it's not clever enough to see because it's complex objects. XUnit isn't clever enough to put them into separate tests. It just runs them and then concatenates the error messages into one test. Which is quite frustrating to be fair, but it's the best I could do. But yeah, so I've been chipping away at that while I've been working with the bay. The bay has been working down here as well. So, living the dream. What else has been going on today? Nothing much really. That's it. Put that cream up my nose for the first time today. It feels really fucking weird. Feels like there's something up there. And I've just tried not to like blow it effectively. Otherwise it's a wet day, waiting for the bus, which has just arrived actually. And otherwise I'm like really fucking struggling, man. I can focus on work stuff for like a week. Tops, absolute tops, and then after that week of like really focusing, I just burn out and just drop all motivation to do anything, and it's really fucking getting to me. It's really bugging me now. It's also hitting everything else, and I can't afford to have it hit everything else. But then you get into a slump and you don't know how to get out of that slump, you know? Let's get real. So the amount of work that I have to do is like about 5 times more than I could ever hope to achieve in a normal month. And I have about 3 weeks to do it, right? That's the level of work that we have at the moment. It's like not including any overtime. Obviously, so therefore doing overtime, I can't do 5 times a month in a month, you know what I mean? Or in 3 weeks. And therefore any overtime I do feels like a drop in the fucking ocean. And therefore, so any overtime I do feels like a drop in the ocean. But anyway, at the back of my mind, there is always this thing being like, you could do more. You could get this closer to the line. But it's still nothing compared to the actual amount of work needed. Therefore, it just kind of feels like it's a waste of time, like it's hopeless. And then that digs at the side of my brain that's like, nothing's impossible, man. Side of my brain that's like, you don't even want to be remotely responsible for this failing, even though it's going to fail anyway. I want to be able to say that you did absolutely everything in your power to get it over the line, even though it didn't get over the line. But then the downside to that is, every time I do that, then I'm just focusing more on how impossible it all is, and then taking time away from things that are possible, that I want to do, that I enjoy doing, and then therefore like kind of fucking depressing me away from doing that, which means one, I don't have time to do it, and two, when I do have time to do it, I either think I should be doing things for work, or I think I should be doing things to relax, and therefore I don't do it. And I'm now not waking up at 2 in the morning anymore. What I need to do now is start thinking that just because I can do something, just because I can wake up at 2 in the morning and do work, doesn't mean that doing something will help. And whether or not that, and right, okay, so here's the other downside, just fucking brutally honest with you now, is, okay, sure, 3 months, 3 weeks, get this thing done, and then you can relax. No, we can't relax, because that amount of work that we've got to do has a load of shit cut out of it. Like, we've already reduced the scope so much that it means that by the time all that stuff is then added back into the scope and needs to be delivered by the end of the year, it's just going to be the same pace until December. I was going to tweet all this, but at this rate there's only a chance that one person would see this. I left my cream at home, but I accidentally put on too much this morning. Mainly because you take the cap off and then it just starts coming out. There is no, you don't need to squeeze it, you don't need to do shit, it just goes, okay, I guess I'm here. Otherwise, we had came home, I've just been chilling, played a bit of Xbox. I did a little bit of GraphQL stuff, which was basically formatting a question for GitHub. Stack Overflow, ironically, is really difficult to type code into. I wanted to like type blocks of code into, and the formatting's like really difficult to like kick in. It's like not markdown like GitHub is. But anyway, so I posted a question onto there. And hopefully someone gets back to me, because I'm really confused as to how it is that you can efficiently write field resolvers without having to duplicate field resolvers on every single type, every single class that implements an interface. So that is en route, ATM. Hopefully someone can get back to me. I feel like I'm missing something, and I feel like it's because I'm using an interface, but what I really want is like an abstract class, and I'm not sure whether or not, the abstract class exists in this world. Otherwise, anything else? Otherwise, we both came home from work today and we were like, I sat on the bus, independently, effectively. I sat on the bus and I sat behind someone who had either chicken nuggets or chicken strips from McDonald's or KFC or whatever. And we both came home, and on the meal plan is a mackerel, which obviously, but I don't know how to spell mackerel, but southern fried chicken is tomorrow, and we were like, we're gonna have to have that today, boys. Let's go to the shop to go pick up some tuna and some bread for tuna and pasta bake. Cheese and tuna toasties. And the shop is so close, there's no point taking the electric longboard, so I just take my old one. The thing is I really want to do is, there's a skate park not that far away from me. And I drove past it on the way home and there's loads of kids there. Fucking kids. I want to go to the skate park. I want a skateboard. Another day passes. We went to IKEA today. Bought some shelves for in here, which is bloody good because I've got like, my desk is just getting overgrown at the moment, so I can start putting some stuff on the shelves. I've got this like a box of 4, but I've also got another cube which I'm going to put here, and another cube I'm going to put there. We also got a new TV cabinet, which is good, and it's big enough for our new TV, which we're going to get on Monday. Happy days, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, we've had a pretty chilled out day today. We went out for a meal. We went out for a lovely Chinese restaurant. There aren't many like good Chinese restaurants, you know. There's loads of good Chinese takeaways, but not many good Chinese restaurants. I've bruised my hand today. Look at that! From trying to smack this into the right position because it's the most stupid design you've ever seen in your fucking life. Did my nut in. I literally halfway through it just shouted "fuck you" and went downstairs and got Laura to do it for me. But yeah, I went for a lovely Chinese restaurant. I had a lovely meal. A couple of glasses of red wine, a bit drunk. I cannot handle my own drink anymore, boys. There's literally 2 glasses of wine on. Otherwise, we just went shopping. We went and had a look at, see what different TVs we can buy and we can afford, and I have selected one. It wasn't as big as I was expecting to select. I was expecting to select a 55-inch. I'm picking a 49. But I think that's the best way to go about it, you know. Boom, ladies and gentlemen. Check that out. It's another day. This is less ideal than I thought. The battery just touches up this cube, which is sad. Not a lot can be done about that, ladies and gentlemen. What else have we done today? We have had just a chilled out day, pottering about the house. We did that. We also did this. I'm sure you can picture a bigger TV on that, but that's what it's about. So yeah, we're going to whack a TV and eventually a soundbar. Probably not getting the soundbar straight away because I want the Sonos one, but the Sonos one doesn't have Google Assistant in it yet. So yeah, so we just have some bedside tables to put up, and then our set is done. We've also ordered, Laura's ordered a painting and a bathroom cabinet thing. But otherwise, we just had a relatively chilled out day. We didn't do much today because got the day off tomorrow to celebrate today, if that makes sense. It was Laura's birthday. Alright, okay. That's fine. I can say it in the video, as long as it's not in the tags, we're okay. That's why we didn't do a whole lot. What else? One exciting thing we did was head on out to go and... oh look, there's the bedside table. Heading out to go Sainsbury's to get some dinner. I was about as excited as it got. So, just nice and chill. Me just getting pissed off at DIY basically. Living the dream. Also been playing a bit of Xbox, been playing Prison Architect. Enjoying that game significantly. Yeah, fucking boy. It's not too big, is it? I think that's perfect. This is the first screen I've ever owned that's 4K. And obviously the first thing you watch in 4K is an MKBHD video. Hashtag Team Crispy. It's friggin' dope. I've upgraded Netflix, so Netflix is now 4K. I'm living the dream. This is a beautiful TV. All I need to do now is buy a soundbar. I'm waiting on the soundbar because I want the Sonos one, but it doesn't support Google Assistant yet, and that's what I want in my life. So playing the capitalist card. You hold your money back until they do the thing you want them to do, then you give them the money. Otherwise, our other TV has been moved into here, so now we've got like a full-size, our old living room TV in the kitchen. It's great. We took the day off today because it was Laura's birthday yesterday, and we just had a chilled out pottering kind of day, to be honest with you. Woke up this morning with a nosebleed. Seems to be Mondays I get nosebleeds. Literally woke up, came downstairs, nosebleed. So, don't know what's going on. And we did some pottering, I did breakfast. We're actually playing a game. We're playing Prison Architect. Having great fun. Laura's got a prison, I've got a prison. It's thoroughly enjoyable. Did washing, because it was Laura's birthday yesterday, we didn't do anything yesterday, so today's been more like catching up on stuff. We did some more DIY. We finally now got bedside tables. Oh, fucking hell, I haven't put the washing away yet. Lol, I have to do that tomorrow now. Finally now got bedside tables, which is something that we haven't had since we got here. So we did that. I set up, one of the presents I got Laura, apart from the headphones that you saw, was a Chromecast audio, so she can use the radio that I bought her years ago. Now you can ask Google and whatnot to play shit on there, which is good stuff. So yeah, that's that. What else did we do? We then headed on out to go buy the TV. Bought the TV, came back, set it up, played some games, played Prison Architect, played Overcooked, watched some 4K stuff. Beautiful. What else did we do? Oh, obviously shopping and stuff. I think that's about it. Oh no, we potted. We did some DIY sealing ink. Yeah, that's about that. We're pretty happy with our boys. But that's it for today. That's all we've done. So now we're heading on to bed. So we're heading to bed late because we had to watch The Bodyguard, catch up on that because we watched in the last episode, and we watched The Circle because I friggin' loving The Circle. Right, what else? That's it. So tomorrow I'm going to end the video here because it's a long video. I'll probably get this uploaded on Wednesday. It's already quite late, so I'm not going to try and get up at 2. Is that clever? Should I just get up at 2? What are we doing at the weekend? We're going out. Yeah, so we need to just like jump back into it again tomorrow. We're going to be longboarding, not all the way, but we've got work, longboard, sleep, programming in the evening. Yeah, so we're going to be like jumping back into the swing of things. I had a blip this week, and I'm not going to let that blip carry on, which probably should mean I should wake up at 2. Problem is, if I wake up at 2, I'm not going to get full 3 hours sleep between now and then because obviously it's already gone 11. Play it by ear. Play it by ear. See how it goes. Right. Thanks very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. We're now this is the last big thing we were going to do recently. We're going to get some more blinds. some new blinds. I think that's the next thing we're going to buy. But that's like a proper DIY job. I'm going to need to fix the fucking oven. Because the oven's been broken since we got here. But otherwise, that's like the last purchase now. So the next big thing I'm going to be purchasing is a new atlas. Because... Oh, yeah. Cool, right. Thanks for watching. I've just been reminding myself of something. I'll catch you later.